Muslim, Christian, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, and atheist one too, and all in between. This is for the absolute positive good God and truth of your lives, only crossing infinitely bigger and better forevermore. You know, you hear a lot of people state, how can you prove that there's a God? Why are we here? What's this all about? What's this life all about? Well, God is the good of all mankind creation of existence, right? And any God that you can think of, right, is only stated one more positive than all negativity. The only way that God can be good is true through the reality check of your shape, form, and mass, okay? You are only expressed here and now one more positive than any negativity that would not have you here and now as the good truth of God of your shape, form, and mass. Life is a miracle, and in order to live this miracle, you only state one more positive than all negativity, good as the truth of God of your shape, form, and mass when crisscrossed with all. It's the only absolute bigger, better here and now of your life than any negative decay, disintegration, suffering, and death. It's the miracle of life to be more positive than negative. It's the good of God of it, and it's the truth of God of it. Anything good that you will ever know, right, will only state to you one more positive than all negativity as a fact of God of it. Good as the truth of the life of Jesus Christ, one more positive than all negativity as the good truth of God of it. You can't suffer out of existence, decay, disintegrate, or die of only Christ crossing that rightful, truthful way. Jesus didn't die for the hallucinations of the faith of mankind. He set the example that never dies, good as truth, only one more positive than all negativity of his life. And that's why when he got put on the cross and the thief bonded with him, the only way he could bond with the good truth of God of him, one more positive than all faithful negativity, it hung that fool and all those fools that put them up there out to one neutral nothing, just infinitely negative of them here and now. They stole their lives back. Only one way, one more positive than all negativity that would not have their shape, form, mass express good as truth to the reality check of the here and now of them, okay? The thief was the one who rolled back the tomb and sent Jesus on his rightful, truthful way, right? It's all part of a bigger, better plan. And Mary seen the thief. He was shining like an angel, right? One more positive than all negativity, good as the truth of God of him, right? Happy to be alive. She gave him a kiss and called him an angel when he said he went that way. And this is how this story went. If you plug a plug into a wall, the positive has to outweigh anything negative about that plug, or you will either burn your house down or won't have enough energy to sustain it, good as the truth of God of it. As long as the positive male outweighs anything negatively female about that plug, your house is good as truth, and there is zero chance you won't have enough energy to sustain it, or that it will burn down over it. You're half male and you're half female. Only cross one more positive than one more positive male than all female negativity about your matter to keep you good as truth, bigger and better as the here and now of your shape, form, and mass. If the sun didn't shine one more positive with protonic energy than all female neutronic energy about the earth, no life as we know it to the reality check of mankind can exist. If you don't shine more positive than anything negative about your life can't exist and can't keep existing. all creation of existence is made of atom matter evolved. This atom matter evolved is only created one way, one more positive than all negativity, good as the truth of God of it, bigger and better than any negativity that would not have it here and now. Regardless if it's one atom or a mountain of atoms, if that atom matter is stated more positive than all negativity of it, good as the truth of God of its shape, form, and mass, it cannot be destroyed to the reality check of the here and now of it. It can only be the bigger and better of it here and now. Inside all atoms of matter evolved, right, are protons and neutrons. On the outside of this atom matter, right, all atoms is an electron field. What isn't you, right, as matter puts off its own energy, okay? Depending on how you absorb this energy, either one more positive or one more negative, is depending on if you're good as truth for the reality check of that matter or not, okay? Whenever it's one more positive to you, it's only protonic. And whenever it's negative of being more positive for you, it's only neutronic to the atoms of the matter that you are, okay? Now, inside all these atoms, again, are protons and neutrons. And the proton is 2 up quarks of energy and 1 down quark of energy, right? The neutrons are 2 down quarks of energy and 1 up quark of energy. They're total opposite polarities, and they cancel each other out. But it's the neutral nothing, meaning if it's more positive than negative, the negative's nothing. And if it's more negative than positive, the positive's nothing. And this is how the good truth of God of all atom matter evolved is expressed to the here and now of it, okay? And if you are a man or a woman, the only way you can crisscross negative with negativity is through faith, because no faith is good as truth. All faith has positive variables, but no faith only teaches to cross more positive than negative. The only way you can add up, stay, and be good as the good truth of God of you. So every time you crisscross with faith, right, it causes the neutron, right, that always has to be stabilized more protonic, more positive than any negative charges of it, not to be able to be stabilized, and the negative of it to be nothing, okay? And what happens is it's a snake of energy from positive to negative. And anytime you cross negative with negativity, it's the incarnate she, he, shafting devilish hells of all faith. It's the bad, evil, sinful way of the faith of you. And just like on the outside of any atoms, right, when a neutron isn't stabilized more protonic always, it's in a constant state of radioactive decay and disintegration. And in a neutron star, it pulsates and it collapses eventually into a black hole abyss on its matter, just infinitely negative of the here and now of it, the one nothing of it here and now forevermore. And this is what you do with your body when you crisscross with faith instead of more protonic always to be good as truth, as your shape, form, and mass, as the child of God you were created to be, as the good of God, as truth of your shape, form, and mass you were created to be. And again, through this faith, it's a snake on the reality check of the neutron, because the neutron has not the ability to stabilize its own energy more positive than negative always. And without the proton doing it, like I said, it's in a constant state of radioactive decay and disintegration. Either it's too much negative energy to the embodiment of matter, or not enough positive energy to sustain the good truth of the shape, form, and mass it's expressing. And over a volume of time, right, through incarnating the she, he, shafting devil of all things, right, the bad, evil, sinful way of your faith, it's the decay and disintegration of your matter, eventually collapsing from life to death, infinitely, just negative of you here and now forevermore, with the devilish hells of you, a black hole abyss on your life and your matter. At one time, the earth was a true sister reflection of the Son of God, the good God and truth of the Adamist man evolved of all I am. Only one more positive, with pyramids all over all, than all negativity, right? At every point in time and space, with the thieving Holy Spirit out, the more positive male energy of the man up, good God and truth of all reality check I am. And it was he shafted, Shiva shafted, by a snake god devil of faith, manifested as Samuel, Yahweh, Yada-Baoth, and any other god that would crisscross you negative with negativity. Okay? And as a reality check, right? When Adam came to himself in the garden, right? He couldn't get his bearings on reality. He could not connect back more positive than anything negative about his life to keep him good as truth. And he looked up and he saw Eve. And she was beautiful and she was concerned. And in reality check, she was the best thing going. And he connected to her faith. And in reality, through this fruit of faith, right? He snaked the matter of himself, but he snaked the matter of all mankind, because no faith is good as truth. And through this he shafting snake god devil of the garden, Yahweh, Yada-Baoth, whatever God you want to express that doesn't only cross you a child of God, one more positive than all negativity, good as the truth of God of you, well, this is who he was shafted by. And in reality check, this is who all mankind is shafted by with their faith. It's a snake on the reality check of what's the good of God as truth. See, in reality, again, God is the good of all, okay? All things good of God as truth is only one more positive than all negativity. Any God you can think of better be more positive than anything negative about them, or they're no kind of God. You're only expressed here and now to the reality check of your life, or more positive than all negativity that would not have you here and now. Good as the truth of God of you, a child of God. Okay? Life is only expressed to you as a miracle of it, more positive than any negativity that would not have you here and now. Good as the good truth of God of it. As long as you cross more positive than all negativity, good as the good God and truth of your life, bigger and better than all negativity, when you feel all, you can't be destroyed. All your atom matter evolved is only made one more positive than all negativity, right? Good as the good God and truth of your shape, form, and mass. The only way it can stay that way is to stay more positive than all negativity, good as the good God and truth of your shape, form, and mass. And when your leadership states through faith that things cross bad, evil, and sinful, through this unevolved articulation, right, this he shafting snake god devil of them, right, they are not the good truth of God or the leadership of you, right? They are the devil of you. Listen to me. I have children. If I don't make sure that my children have homes, right, proper food, proper education, a way to sustain, I'm neglecting my children, right? If I lock my children up in rooms or hate them for making mistakes for years at a time, if I lock my children in rooms for years at a time or hate them for making mistakes, right, I wouldn't be the good truth of God of their dad. I'd be the devil of them, okay? And you never stop being somebody's child. And every time these people, right, with their so-called authority, right, state that you are some sort of bad, evil, sinful way, it's a lack of their good judgment as truth, right, to be more positive to the reality check of you. Because in reality, there's always something more positive that you can do than to be negative with negativity. And to destroy all negativity, you can only do it one way, by being more positive than that. You cannot destroy any negativity by being negative with the negativity. That is the good God and truth of nothing That's just a snake of your faith, of the devilish she, he, shafting way of you. You hear me? And it's no good as truth, and everywhere on the planet, right? It's not stated one more positive than all negativity. It's just the faith of blind leading blind fools and the leadership of them. And that's just a fact of God check. You can't get around it. That's God, truth, and reality check. From the fool thief man, God, King, Adamus of all mankind, creation of existence, of God, truth, reality check I am. The Father, Son, and thief, and Holy Spirit of all mankind's negativity to one neutral nothing. I absolutely positively am. The 3 times male, good God, and truth of all reality check I am. Peace.